I think something just got dropped off. Yep. Ah, it's a little heavy. Bring it over here. Babe, come here, please.
All right.
I think the tool just got chopped off.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. Awesome. It is.
It is?
Yay. I like getting new tools.
Let me see.
Oh, best part.
What is it?
Got another sticker for the garage. The Bleep
Ooh,
and Jeep sticker.
cute.
I love getting new tools. Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Well, let's get the alignment done. I got something to do today.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. That back tire is worse than the rest of them, and that's because it was up here and I think it chopped, so when we put it back there, it evened the tread out, but now that the tread's even, it's way worse than all the rest, and I think this tire's camber is off because it's leaning, so I think the lower bulge one on here might have gone bad, so we might have to wait to rotate the tires, because this one has more life on this tire than that one, so I can either do the bulge ones again or get the bulge ones leaks. Last time we went off-roading, I pressure washed the diff cover, and the bottom of the diff cover, some of the paint came off from getting drugged through the mud, so I'm gonna have to touch up that differential cover whenever I change the fluid out and inspect the gears. And whenever I change out the gear oil, instead of just draining and filling, I'm gonna pull both differential covers out and check out the ring pinion, because we put those rough country ring pinions in, and I'm kind of curious to see how they're doing after 3 off-roading trips. This one is at 68 and 11/16. Let me mark that down so I don't forget. $68 3/4. So it's a 16th towed out. So it's supposed to be towed in the 16th, and we're actually towed out the 16th. So we need to adjust that and bring that in. I'm pretty sure that jam nut is a 24. We'll find out. Let's see. Now I just need to figure out how much I need to actually adjust, because it's off a 16th the wrong way. So, okay, check that measurement there.
That's 68 3/4 in the back.
Let's undo it and check the front measurement. And if that's the case, it should be 11/16 on the front now instead of 3/4. We're looking really just to swap the numbers.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Maybe it's a little bit over 11/16, but yeah, it moved in.
Okay, all right, we'll go with that. That's a pretty cool little tool, man. It's pretty awesome. Makes it a lot easier doing it with this and doing it with levels and stringers and all that other stuff. It's for sure faster. Now the worst part, I hate this so much. I love 38s, but man, do I hate putting them back on. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. All right. Taking them off isn't so bad, but putting them on, my God. We were out at Hidden Falls, and our friend Darian was out there with us, and she actually got a flat tire. I wish I had video of it, but she got a flat tire, and we had to change it out because she punctured her sidewall on the trail, so we had to plug it on the trail. And then when we plugged it, we made it back to the parking area and changing out that little 33 on 20-inch rim. I was just like, woo, man, I forget how light they are compared to these. That's not so bad, changing those out, but these things right here is a little different. And one final, there it is, torque to spec, guys. Torque to spec. And there's people who say, no matter how long you've been doing it, there's no such thing as having a feel for tightening bolts. You can't have a feel for tightening bolts. I don't agree with that, because how can a doctor perform surgery on someone and not cut all the way through them? You know, if that's the case, you couldn't have a feel for how much pressure you needed for a doctor to cut through to only perform surgery on what they needed. That's a feel. And they don't have no torque scalpels where they're like, oh, 3 pounds of pressure to cut through this. I tell you about Anna. Her Jeep is doing that awesome thing where her check engine light came on and it says P457. So she has an emission leak, but she says her Jeep's making like a whistling sound. And she's not sure where it's coming from. And I said, well, is it coming from the engine bay? She said, yeah. So I told her, well, you need to check your vacuums to see if you have a vacuum leak. If it's not a vacuum leak with a whistle, then you need to check your intake manifold, because if not, it could be the intake manifold gasket whistling as it's pulling air. She said, well, it has a leak. So I told her everything that she needs to check, and so she asked me tomorrow before she comes over for the Jeep meet if I could check it for her. So when she comes over tomorrow, I'm going to check her Jeep to see if I can find out where that leak's coming from. Like I told Julia, though, if I don't have smoke and I can't run smoke to see where it's sucking it in at, it's really hard to tell, and I can't do a smoke test because I don't have the tools for it. But I'm going to see if I can. Old trick we used to use is if it's a direct intake leak around like the brake booster or the manifold, if you spray part cleaner on there, it'll suck it in and it'll rev the engine. Not always, but if it's a big enough leak, you can do that and it will suck it in. It'll give you an idea of where to go. But so I'm going to see what I can do to help her out tomorrow. But let me go see what this is doing on the road now. Take it for a drive and see what it's doing. I'm probably going to have to adjust that drag length. Well, the steering wheel is off a little bit, so when we get back, we'll have to adjust that. Say a little bit, it's quite a bit actually. But let's see if it's pulling. That's the main thing right now. The drag link is nothing. It's hard to tell because these roads are beveled, but the Jeep does the same thing, but it's not as bad, I don't think. She's the one who drives this, so I'll have to ask her after she gets back home to check it out to see if it's as bad as it was, because she says it was pulling really hard and I didn't really drive it. At least whenever I did drive it, I wasn't paying attention to the pull, because almost every road I drove on had a curve to it, or the road was beveled, so I didn't really pay attention to it. I think it's mainly when she's on the freeway that she feels it, but I guess we could go take it on Beltway real quick and see how that goes. Road's still slightly beveled, but it's not that bad of a bevel, and it's not pulling at all. It's just wherever the road is like taking me, that's where the Jeep's going, so it's actually really good. So I think that we're good. I don't think I have to get on the Beltway actually. I'm just going to turn around. So it looks straight right now when I pulled it in, but it needs to go to the left. So whenever I adjust this watch that steering wheel, let me know when it moves. It needs to move about that much. That's a technical amount. One day I'll have a lift. If anybody wants to donate and give me like $5,000 to get a lift, that'd be super cool too.
What the hell are you doing?
Well, the drag link is really tight, so my pipe wrench, I can't fit a cheater bar over there, so I took a socket and ran a socket on there so I could get the length I need, because the leverage, I didn't have it. So you gotta improvise, safety second, right? Alright, got it all tightened up and adjusted. I'm gonna go take it for a drive, make sure the steering wheel's straight, and that should be it. Steering wheel straight, so we did that. Alignment's fixed, it's not pulling anymore. That's it for the video. Until next time, guys.